really don't know much about the environmental agencies of the local area. So everyone hears about the big government agencies, but not what's actually in their own backyard. So it would be nice to learn more about them and what they're actually doing for the locals.
I would like to know more of what's available,
Wish they more fully knew what we did and what we stood for. A lot of people just know a specific area that we work in, that they're involved with. They don't really know the rest of what we're doing in the community or in the county. So they have like a tunnel vision of who we are and may not see the rest of the things. So if they have a negative experience with us because we're regulating them, they may not see a positive side of what we're doing in another area.
It seems like there are getting to be too many regulations, I guess. They have what we would need. But I can understand, kind of where they're coming from, because the farms get so, especially the dairies and the animal units are getting so big that, if they have a problem, it is a major environmental issue.
I believe some of the biggest misconceptions about the Farm Service Agency is the fact that we're a government-run agency, and we might be regulatory at times, but again, we do offer great programs that are helping the environment and helping farmers at the same time.
Somewhere around 700 employees and only about 220 are officers. The rest of them are everything from biologists to foresters to clerical staff to you name it. We run the gamut. We have every walk of life in the agency, and so I think that's a big misconception, that they think we're just a law enforcement agency. We're not.
Most people realize that our job is to protect the water and the air. I think that there's a little bit of misconception out there that we pick sides. I think depending on which side you're on, you believe we're on the other side. So the regulated community believes we're all environmentalists. The environmentalists believe we're all in bed with the regulated community. And I think, quite frankly, we do a really good job of walking that middle line with regulators. We don't pick winners and losers.
Be nice to know who to go to, who's in charge when a particular concern comes up, like the burning trash, or if someone is dumping in the river or something, who would I go to address that situation?
That, I think, is the big lack, is communication.
Many people get us mixed up with the Game Commission. They'll come walking in the office with an owl they found along the road that was hit by a truck, and well, we'll take it, but we're going to pass it on to somebody else.
We still get people that are like, we didn't know you did this.
So if you were an individual wanting to learn more about the Conservation District, I would say get a hold of us by some means and talk to somebody on my staff or myself. Hands down, personal contact is still the number one tool to learn anything.
I think everybody should have an awareness of their own environment and their impacts to it. And we can relay a lot of that if they, even going to our website, in social media, we do a Facebook page to try to reach those people that aren't coming out to us with a message. And also, hey, if you don't know why your tree is dying, here's a link to what is ailing eastern hemlock right now.
But the local work group meeting, the purpose of that is for the community to become involved in our programs and how we're using our funding and how we're targeting our resources for the coming year.
I think it's really important for people to recognize that environmental protection does come at a cost, and I believe that's money well spent. I think a lot of public will understand that once they understand what we do.
I would want to convey to the audience that where you are inclined to serve and you have a particular interest and passion, seek out those organizations that match up and go work there. And in a local area, you're going to overlap and cross paths often with all the people involved, all the folks involved.
First of all, if I had a personal complaint, who should I turn to? And secondly, are there organizations that are, that could use some help in trying to, combat the, help the environment?
But we hope that we could all work together. We don't want them to be overbearing, that we cannot do the job, what do you say? Do whatever we have done all our life. We think we know pretty well how to do things and to keep things stable with the environment. So, we hope we could all work together. That's all I would like to say.
Sure, I mean, I'm willing to work with them. I mean, contrary to some people's opinion, we do, this is our land, we want to not lose it, So yeah, anything that would better my farming, and we try to do everything that we can to save it.
I think the way you get a community involved is through crisis or through very good information and convincing delivery of that information.
And during that meeting, we give an extensive overview of what it is we do. So anyone that doesn't have a clue what we do, they could learn that at that meeting. And they'd also be given that opportunity to voice what their local priorities are and how they want us to target our assistance in the future.
So the department is really here, but you don't think about us until it's too late, until that facility is proposed in your neighborhood. And oftentimes, like the involvement at the local level, local planning, local zoning, is really important, because when we look at things solely to make sure that they're meeting the regulatory requirements, and those regulatory requirements are established with public safety in mind.
People should be more spatially aware of what's going on around them, so.
I'd like to know more about what they're doing to keep things clean, because obviously they're doing a good job.
I'm grateful for any agency that is paying close attention to the environment and trying to communicate their concerns to the local public.
We have the same values that they do. We want to keep the land and make it better for the next generation. Sometimes you don't think that they think we do.
We're all caring about the same thing. We just have different responsibilities, but ultimately, it's all the same environment.
We try the event that's going to be coming up on June 4th, today, if you're watching me, is an opportunity for us to protect, preserve, and play, and show how conservation districts fit into that mix.